Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Let's React Blindly to the soundtrack of Epic the Musical. I am here once again, joined by my good friend Alexandra, who is a major Winion fan, who is walking me through this reaction without spoilers. Um, and she's been doing a fantastic job up to this point. If you have not seen my reactions to Epics 1 and 2, please
Troy
look for
and
them.
Cyclops. Yeah.
Yes, Troy and Cyclops sagas. Please look for them in the description below. Otherwise, welcome back. And we're just going to dive right into it. So take it away, Alexandra.
Yeah, before we start, I just wanted to say I was taking so badly when we were recording the Cyclops saga because I just wanted to see your reaction to Polides. And I was like, oh no, how is he gonna react? Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, I was not. I was not happy.
Yeah. So we're starting with Storm, the first song of the Ocean Saga, and this cinematic is made by Jimena Natzel.
Okay.
Let's go.
These waves and tides have grown in strength and size. Is it nature or divine or a blessing in disguise? Our homes inside, this storm's our final fight. There's no time to die. Comrades, sir, brace for a storm. The likes of which we've never seen before. Brace for a storm. With hope so close, we must keep pushing forward. Full speed ahead towards the island, but avoid the crashing waves. Tread where the tide is flat, and then you will be safe. Captain, we will capsize with these waves. Our fleet will fail. Have them follow my ship, all ensure that we prevail. We're taking too much damage to survive. We'll beat the storm. At this rate, we won't make it out alive. Help to an island in the sky. You really just grab the harpoons, as many as you can find. What do you have in mind? We're gonna shoot for the sky. What? Storm, storm. Everyone grab a harpoon and aim it high. Storm, storm. We're shooting for the island in the sky. In the sky.
I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot, and this is why. For those of you who heard my final words at the end of the Epic Saga reaction, I was curious, again, not like complaining, but I was curious how repetitious some of these songs are starting to be. And that was a really cool departure from the norm. I think from the very beginning, what I really loved was the introduction of the chorus, like the voices, the ensemble voices that you heard, that was different from the ensemble singing of the soldiers, because I have heard the male, essentially the male soldier like ensemble singing in unison, and it's beautiful, hearing the men sing that way. But just adding in that sort of like with the men. I'm assuming both females and male voices. Was just a really cool sprinkle of diversity. The sound of the song also felt very different too, with the, you know, the drums, the beating of the drums, and just like really driving things forward to the tune of the storm, essentially. Yeah, it was a really awesome, more diverse, I think, song than some of from the ones that we've heard before. So yeah, it was very good. It was really cool to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. And one fun fact about the floating island.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know the version of the Odyssey. I don't think you remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, in the Odyssey, the floating island is actually a literal floating island. Like it's floating in the water. It's not attached to the ground and it just moves around in the water. But when Jorge read the Odyssey and he read Floating Island, he was like, oh, an island in the sky. And he put that in the musical.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't remember an island up in the sky. I thought that's interesting. So I liked that interpretation.
Yeah.
Was there. That's so cool. Huh.
Yeah, so now we have an island in the sky.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Go ahead.
it sounds I like, again, it was a very good bop. It had a very good feel. And like I said, it just felt very different from the war cry songs or the battle songs or the ragey songs. This was more, you know, we gotta get through this storm, and the adrenaline is coming for different reasons. Let's work together. Yeah. Very cool.
All right. Let's move on. Shut up. Let's move on to the next song. This is Luck Runs Out by Crashite.
Okay.
Let's go.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do. You've heard the legends of the island in the sky. This proves they're true. We're in the home of the wind god. We don't know for sure. How many floating islands have you seen before? This is the home of the wind god. And what's your plan? I'm gonna climb to the top and ask him for a hand. You could be caught off guard and lose your life, or piss off this god and infuse us with strife. Don't forget how dangerous the gods are. Have faith, friend, we've come this far. Yes, but how much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wind and people die on it. Whoa. I still believe in goodness. I still believe that we could be kind. Lead from the heart and see what starts. And what will we do when it tears us apart? Where is this coming from, my friend? I just don't want to see another life end. You're like the brother I could never do without. And suddenly you doubt that I could figure this out. Captain, how much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on it and people die on it. Whoa, how much longer till the snake breaks free? How much longer till your great day sees? How much longer till your strength takes leave? You rely on it and people die on it. Whoa. Thank you for the concern, but brother, I can assure you, our journey is almost done. I understand that we're tired, I understand that we're phased, but don't forget how much we've already faced. I took 600 men to war and not one of them died there. In case you needed a reminder, if If you'd like to speak more, let me pull you aside then. I need to talk to you in private. I can't have you planting seeds of doubt. I can't have you disagreeing each route. I need you to always be devout and comply with this, or we'll all die in this. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Wow, I have a lot to say about this one.
Yeah.
So first off, so far one thing I'm really liking about Saga number 3 is all of the songs are so different. Like this again, the diversity is here. The diversity that I was hoping for is here. I love it has a completely different sound, it has a completely different vibe. I like how they are taking the male chorus and again using it in a slightly different way. The way that the male chorus is backing up
Eurylicus.
how do you pronounce it? Eulyticus?
Think about like you really cuss. Eurylicus.
Eurylicus. I like
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Eurylicus. I like that.
You really cuss. Yeah.
The way that they are, I guess the voices are vibing as a backup to Eurylicus's lyrics.
And they are his instrument, remember?
Right. Yes. Yes. It's very different than how they're being used in previous songs. And even during Odysseus's parts, he has this theme that we talked about that's a little bit repetitious, and it's sort of like this. Visually, I'm a visual person. It's like it's a roaming theme. Da 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 da. It just kind of moves along, and this one it moves differently. It's I could feel it. So that was the thing that really stuck out as well. I love the part where the two gentlemen go in private and start talking, because it's, as somebody who in real life is a manager, right? I'm a leader at work, and there's a balance between doing what you're told, like telling your direct reports, hey, we need to do this has to be done by this deadline, and it should be done in this way, etc., versus listening to your direct reports and allowing them to manage you, to manage upwards sometimes, and allowing them to question or to poke or to not contradict you, but just maybe share a perspective that you did not have, or some sort of consideration that you didn't consider. And you got to balance that, because it can't just be y'all are doing this blindly without the questioning, it's my way or the highway, or completely second guessing yourself and always listening to what everyone is saying to you when a decision has to be made. It's tough to have that balance. And so I really love how this song highlights that, because I definitely see Eurylicus's point of view for sure. I mean, they've already lost people like Politicus, Politis, and I don't think he necessarily knows that they lost the aid of Athena, and meanwhile, Odysseus is saying, hey, look, you're sowing seeds of doubt. This is not good for the men to see you questioning me all the time, because it's a disrespect to my authority. It undermines my authority. And so, what I like to tell people, again, in real life as a manager, is if you're going to continually question someone, maybe don't do it in front of everybody.
Right.
Maybe don't do it in front of the rest of the... You can have that private conversation and say, hey, look, let's talk this out. This is how I'm feeling. sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it's warranted if you're having I'm a software engineer, so sometimes it's warranted to be in a group and talking through like major decisions. But other times, it's more appropriate for you to just take the person aside and talk to them privately. Like if I have somebody who I think is struggling performance wise, if I feel like they're not pulling their weight as much as they should be, I'm not going to say that to them in front of the rest of their colleagues or employees. So I would at least have the respect to pull them aside and talk to them about that privately. So yeah, that was one of the things why this particular song resonated with me, because I really could relate to what's happening here. Not because I'm on this Odyssey on a voyage adventure, but because even in real life, as somebody who has both been a follower and a leader, striking that balance is an art and can be very delicate. So yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of rubbing salt in the wound, artists keep doing this. Thank you very much, Crush Height. So yeah.
So here's a question that I just have in general. I assume that when all of these creators are making these animatics, a lot of the scene work, like the things that are happening that is not part or is not explicitly part of the lyrics, they're just kind of making it up, right?
It has an explanation because Jorge does this live stream. He used to do live streams when Epic was still coming out, and he would include the lyrics and descriptions of what was happening on screen.
Happening. I like that. Yeah.
And he also paid a bunch of artists to do animatics for the live stream itself.
Okay. So Jorge is very involved with
these,
which I love. I like that. I like that they're doing that. And is this? Do you know if this is something then that they're paid to do then?
He paid them.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. As they should be, I think. Yeah, no, I love that because I think it helps. It's really smart, I think, to use the community in that way to promote and advocate your creation, because it helps not only give people your vision, deliver your vision to them, but obviously creates hype and creates this fandom and makes it, I think, easier for him to take this project to the next level, like a stage show, an actual formal stage show. So yeah, very smart, Jorge, very smart.
Yeah, he's a smart boy. All right, let's move on to the next song.
Keep Your Friends Close. Ooh,
Keep Your Friends Close by Gigi again.
Okay.
Let's go.
Great wind god Aeolus, I don't know if you know this, but our path to home is blocked by an impenetrable storm. I ask for your assistance so we at last can go the distance. Can you cast the perfect winds for us and aid our journey home?
Ha ha ha, I am the wind, twisting and turning. I give the fire enough to stay burning. Let's play a game.
A game?
That's what I'm serving, and if you win, you will get what you're yearning.
Deal.
Take a look right here at this bag. It has the winds of the storm all trapped. All you gotta do is not open this bag.
Sounds too easy, what's the catch?
Ha ha ha, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
If they wanna get the bag open, you gotta say no, sir.
Sometimes feeling is a must.
What?
Cause the end always justifies the means.
Friends turn to foes in rivalry,
So keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
never really know who you can trust. Never really know who you can trust.
Captain, what's happening? What's trapped in that bag? Something dangerous, friends, we mustn't lag.
It's treasure.
What?
The
Open the bag. Let's see what you got. No, do not. Everybody listen closely. See how this bag is closed. That's how it's supposed to be. This bag has the storm inside. We cannot let the treasure rumor fly. We'll try.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
Now they wanna get the bag open so they can have closure.
Sometimes thinking is a must.
Cause the end always justifies the means.
Everything's changed since loyalty. So
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
never really know who you can trust.
Really know you can trust.
For 9 days I've stayed wide awake, trying to make it home with no storm or tidal wave. I remain unopposed, the bag is still closed, and I'm getting closer to you. I can't wait to make some new memories. Time for me to be the father I never was. Just keep your eyes open. Why are my eyes and my heart and my soul so heavy?
Just keep your eyes open.
I keep on trying to embrace you both. Why won't you let me?
Just keep your eyes open.
So much has changed, but I'm the same. Yes, I'm the same.
Just keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open.
Wake up. Wake up! Odysseus, they're opening the bag! Wake up!
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can
Never
trust.
really know you can trust. Always speed up.
Where's the storm taking us?
I said to keep the bag closed, but you weren't compliant. If I had to guess, you're headed to the land of the giants.
Help me close the bag! But sir, it's too late! We can save whatever wind is left to use another day! Come on! Odysseus of Ithaca! Do you know who I am?
The first like knee-jerk reaction was Odysseus meets the Last Airbender. Because seriously, like I feel like so much of the wind god is based off of Aang, because you know she's riding around in a cloud. Even that move
I
where she turns
see.
upside down, that's totally an Aang move. The fact that she's sort of portrayed as a prankster or a trickster, like Aang the Last Airbender is a trickster. So I don't know if that was purposeful or not, but it's 100%. Maybe it's just a coincidence. 100% is giving me the Last Airbender vibes. And of course, my other knee-jerk is reaction, girl, why are you giving me this bag? Like if you want to suck up all the storms to help us out, great. Why do you have to give it to me? Why can't you just keep it yourself? Like, why am I being ordered? Here's a bag. Don't open it though. But here's the bag that has all the storms. Like,
I need
sure.
treasure.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is that the little creatures, the little wind bunnies, or what do you call them? It's like, then there's treasure. It's like I'll help you, but I'm gonna add a test. You know, that's see, this is why I and I know this is just part of how mythologies and Greek mythology works. Is just I just really hate how we're just playthings at the end of the day. Like we're your own. Here's another social experiment. I'm just going to drop on this perfectly relatively nice person, I think, and his crew. I'm just going to mess with them by giving them this Pandora's box, or giving them this
Wind bag.
bag of winds, or giving them this ticking time, like whatever. Like I constantly need to test you all or run experiments on you just to see if you'll succeed or fail for my own personal amusement. That's the only thing. I feel like so many gods and entities are just doing this just for funsies, and not necessarily because they actually want to help them. Like maybe they do want to help them, but if they cause chaos in the way, at least I get entertainment value about it. So that's what. Again, this is not the fault, obviously, of the show or the musical. This is just a pet peeve I have about Greek mythology and other stories like this in general, is that it's just so cruel sometimes that I'm gonna help you, but the catch is for reasons no other reason other than to see how your will of temptation, even though at the end the wind god was like, well, you didn't comply, I told you not to open the bag. I'm like, he didn't open the bag. Like, he tried. He put in his good college effort. He did everything in his power to tell the guys, hey, don't tell anyone else that there's a treasure in this. Y'all better listen to what I say. It's ultimately not his fault what 500 and whatever men end up doing. But the wind god blames him anyway. I guess because he's the leader, which I don't know. As someone who's a leader or manager, I still feel is not 100% fair, especially when you're not setting them up for success. The fact that the spirits are like, there's treasure in it, means that you're not even setting them up for success. You're like setting them up for failure by doing something like that, by pulling that stunt. So again, it's not like the wind god had to help them in the first place. So, you could argue, well, that's just the price you have to pay, but it's annoying. Nothing, but of course that has nothing to do with the song itself. Again, so different from the other songs. There's a lot of diversity so far. I think just for the sake of diversity, like Saga 3 is again probably going to be one of my favorites, because it is sort of like a much needed break, I think, from some of the chaos that happened in Saga number 2 and even Saga number 1 to some degree. Obviously they're setting things up for the Island of the Giants, but I kind of like that there's not a ton of despair other than, oh, whoops, we opened up the bag, we thought that there was treasure in there, my bad. I mean, I know you told us there wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and did you catch the line about polities?
I don't think so. What was the line?
And always justifies the means.
Everything's changed since polities. So
Keep your
Everything changes for the what?
Everything's changed since polities.
Oh, everything's changed since polities. Yeah.
Jorge also likes to rub salt in the wound,
Yeah.
not just the fans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I can finally explain the reason behind the name of the fandom. It's because these little guys are the wind minions.
The wind minions. Oh.
The minions.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and
That's
we
cool.
refer to minions even as the lotus eaters, the little creatures that were in open arms.
Yeah.
We also refer to them as winions, even though they're not technically winions. They're just the
I
little creatures that are called winions.
Yeah. I might get a lot of hate for this, but I do kind of prefer the Winions over the Minions, as in the Despicable Me Minions.
Ah, yeah.
I kind of prefer the Winions over the yellow Despicable Me Minions.
Yeah.
So
I prefer anything over the minions.
that's funny.
Yeah. So
I'm
yeah.
curious.
Hmm?
And is this design that we see here, was that design inspired by Jorge too, or this is again their interpretation of what the minions
I'm not. This
look
is
like?
Gigi's design of the Winions, but the
Okay.
official design of the Winions is the one that were in Murchie's animatic in Open Arms.
Oh, okay,
The like
okay.
little fluffy
The
thing.
little fluffy things.
Yeah, and even in the live
Oh,
stream, in the animatics of the live stream, when Aeolus,
okay.
the wind god, shows up, they show up with Winions, fluffy Winions, not these Winions.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they appear in a stage show. Are they going to be like people full in costume? Are they going to be puppets? Are they going to be shadows, like on the background? Are they going to be, CGI? AI generated
Holograms.
how holograms. I don't know. I'm curious to see how they are.
So far with what we've seen, it's really difficult to put this on a stage.
Yeah,
Like with
yeah,
the Cyclops, the island in the sky.
yeah, yeah.
But we'll see. The future,
But I'm,
only
I'm
the future will tell.
but I'm assuming that's Jorge's goal, isn't it? Ultimately, is that his goal, or he just never really
Mm,
intended for this to be on stage?
I don't know if he never intended for it to be a stage, but he didn't limit himself to a
Okay,
stage. He just went for it.
I see. I see. So he created this musical, and if even if it doesn't end up on stage, maybe it could be an animated film,
Right.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be an animated film. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
An animated film feels like it would be slightly easier. I mean, I can't imagine that it's. I'm sure that they both have challenges. It's
Mm-hmm.
both. It's hard to do either one. So, okay,
Right.
cool. Yeah, very neat.
Okay, before we move on to the next one, who do you think was the voice at the end?
Can you play it again? I didn't remember what the voice was at the end. Oh, the voice. Play
Let me
play
find
play
it.
play the clip.
Odysseus of Ithaca! Do you know who I am?
It sounds. I feel like I've heard it before.
No, you haven't.
I haven't heard it before.
No.
Who do I think? Who do I think it is in terms of within the
What
story
the voice
itself?
says, what the voice says a lot already of who it might be.
Play it one more time.
No, I'm sorry.
Play it one.
What the voice is saying is already saying a lot.
Right. Can you play it one more time?
Oh,
I just wanna hear it
sorry.
one more time. Play it.
Odysseus of Ithaca! Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? Odysseus of Ithaca. Huh. And what he says this already says a lot.
I'm not. I'm holding myself from saying anything because we'll move on to the next song. But I wanna hear your thoughts.
Odysseus of Ithaca. It doesn't sound like Politus, so I don't think it's him. It could be one of the gods. I just don't remember which god it could be. Do you know who I am? Is there like a god of mystery? I don't remember. Is there a god of identity? Is this Odysseus's like twin, like evil twin? You know what I'm saying? Like another version of himself, and they're just voices in his head. I don't know. Is this a voice?
All right, let's just move on before you
We'll
overthink
move on.
this.
Okay, I might be overthinking it.
Yeah. Okay. This is ruthlessness.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, right. This is by Neil Illustrator. Sorry, I forgot to. There we go.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
Poseidon. In all my years of living, it isn't very often that I get pissed off. I try to chill with the waves, but damn, you crossed the line. I've been so gracious, and yet you hurt the son of mine. That's right, the Cyclops you made blind is mine. No. I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. Yes, the pack of wolves are swimming with the shark now. I gotta make you bleed. I need to see you drown. But before you go, I need to because you're not even great. A Greek who reeks of false righteousness, that's what I hate. Cause you fight to save lives but won't kill and don't get the job done. I mean, you totally could have avoided all this had you just killed my son. But no, you are far too nice. Mercy has a price. It's the final crack, we're about to break the ice now. You reveal your name, then you let him live. Unlike you, I've got no mercy left to give. Cause ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ourselves. And now it is finally time to say goodbye. Today you die, unless of course you apologize for my son's pain and all his cries. Poseidon, we meant no harm, we only hurt him to disarm him. We took no pleasure in his pain, we only wanted to escape. The line between naivety and hopefulness is almost invisible, so close your heart. The world is dark and ruthlessness is die. What have you done?
When does a ripple become a tidal wave?
43 left under your command.
When does a man become a monster?
I am your darkest moment. The monster that always draws near. Any last words?
All I gotta do is open this bag.
What? Remember me.
So,
Well, my first reaction is Poseidon is daddy. Poseidon is very daddy. That's the first thing.
and this is just one of the designs from one of the artists. Imagine
wow.
all of the other designs that different artists
figure-
have of Poseidon.
I figure if any of the Greek gods want to kill me, I'd want it to be Poseidon. If I had a choice, go.
With that
How I
voice,
die.
with that voice.
Right. If this is how I die, so be it, Daddy. So be it. This is how I die. Definitely the part that resonated a lot, of course, was the callback to when does a tidal wave be? When does a
The
river
ripple.
become a tidal?
Yeah.
Become a tidal. When does a man become a monster? So it was really cool to hear that come back, obviously, and have that foreshadowing come to fruition. So one of the things also that I was wondering for a while, if it looked like I was a little puzzled at the beginning, is I saw Poseidon, but I was like, where's his trident? Like, that's his thing. I did notice that he had a very blue arm, so I'm like, did they, in this version, instead of a trident, does he just have this blue arm? And that's what he uses to... But no, the trident forms in his other hand eventually, so... I'm not sure. You can tell me later what the significance of this blue arm is.
That's the artist. That's Neil Illustrators. I think they're drawing a comic. I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
true. I think she's drawing a comic where she explains why her Poseidon has this arm. But it's completely because of the artist. It has nothing to do with Epic the Musical itself.
Yeah. But yeah, and then once again, very diverse, different song from the others, and the Poseidon's voice, like he killed it. It's great. I love. It's got the raspiness in it, which honestly I don't know if it necessarily fits for a god of water, like raspiness. When I'm thinking
It's salt water. It's salt water.
That's true. Salt water. No, that's true. That's true. I'm just, but again, it's not a. I'm not like complaining. It's just thinking the thought. You know, when I think of water god, I think more,
Smooth,
flowy and smooth. But salt water, especially because he's also the god of storms too. I think not.
and horses.
So I can and horses. Right. So yeah. But here's again where it's the nature of Greek mythology, but it's still a pet peeve of mine. No fault to the story, no fault to the song, but it's like, hey, there's consequences for your actions. Cyclops is my son. I was like, oh, I'm thinking Cyclops is your son. Well, I'm glad we didn't kill him then, right? I'm glad we spared him his life. He's like, you should have killed my son. Why didn't you kill my son and finish the job? I guess he was implying, why make my son suffer being blind for the rest of his days? I guess that's what it mean. But I don't know. I just feel like that's very unfortunate, twisted logic. Like, because I was thinking, hey, yeah, like Athena told me to kill off his son. I thought what we did to him was a mercy. Like, we were doing whatever we could. They were defending themselves. It was self-defense, and yeah, it stunk. It sucks that now he's blinded, but at least he's still alive. At least that was a mercy. But I guess in the god's eyes, hey, if you're gonna hurt one of my children, just finish him off, and that's the mercy. So this is the issue that I have here. Is I just feel like what the gods consider to be right and wrong are so arbitrary sometimes. Because he could, let's say, because I bet you, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to bet that if he actually did kill off Polypheus, if he did kill off Polypheus, probably lost a few men along the way, Poseidon would be like, you killed my son, how dare you? Like, he would have been angry at him anyway. It's a lose-lose. I hate. Sorry, this makes me so angry sometimes. Again, nothing to do with the musical or the show, but I just can't stand how the gods pit themselves against each other, pit their humans against each other into these lose-lose situations, And you kind of have to do the best that you can to pick the lesser of the two evils. And it's so hard and so obvious. It's just not obvious. And so clearly the gods get a rise out of telling people what to do, but they don't give people full explanations because they're trying to test them. Minerva could have said,
Athena.
Hey, or Athena. Why do we keep saying Minerva?
It's okay.
Athena could have said, hey, if you don't finish off Cyclops, then, Cyclops is actually, like, spoilers, Cyclops is actually,
Poseidon?
The Poseidon's son, and he would want you to kill him off because he doesn't want to suffer. And I get that maybe she doesn't want to tell us everything because that defeats the purposes of testing your alliance or your loyalty. But I'm like, dude, like if you really do care about someone, you should give them more information, knowing their capacity to logic through things, like knowing humans the way that I'd like to think the gods know humans. Why not give them information to make more informed decisions? Again, going back to the whole manager thing, I hate when managers test their employees as if they're supposed to read my mind, or at least as they're supposed to know better, when I feel like if they're missing key information, it's hard for them to make informed decisions. I don't have to tell them everything, but I at least need to give them, it goes back to at least set them up for success, not set them up for failure. And so this is why I hate this about the Greek gods sometimes, because a lot of the things that they're trying to teach you in these stories, the lessons they're trying to teach you is the world sucks. Like, the world is dark, the world is ruthless. Accept it. Don't fight it with this sentimental, live by the heart, crap. Like, just give in to the darkness of the world. Where, for me personally, I really value stories that are where the hero is actually fights against society, fights against the norm, fights against the darkness, and tries to be the light. They might fail, but they at least to some degree are rewarded for it, or at least recognized for it. But here, you just get punished. You get slammed and punished if you have any sense of like decency or taking the high road or going with integrity or like deep values of the heart. You get punished for it. And that's just one thing that I really don't like about Greek mythology stories, even though, they are fun, but they're just very depressing and ultimately not the type of stories that I value or take heart to. So, but all that being set aside, fantastic job. Like, execution-wise, the song is great. I love the portrayal of Poseidon. I don't like the message, but again, that's not the fault of the song, because this is the source material
Right.
that Jorge works with. That's just how it is. It is how it is, and he does a great job of executing that. So sorry about my little tirade.
It's alright.
But it's it's my hot take. It's what I'm feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
The fact that I am going on these tirades means I care, and that I like the worst thing you would want from a reactor is indifference.
Yeah.
Like not caring or not feeling strongly one way or another. So
Right. So the reason why I was asking who do you thought was the voice was because this voice knew Odysseus by name and where he was from. And
yes.
who did Odysseus tell his name and where he was from the last time? The
I don't
Cyclops.
remember, actually.
The Cyclops.
Well, he said nobody. Yes.
No. But at the end of Remember Them, he said, "I am the reigning king of Ithaca."
Oh, I see.
He
Yes.
he revealed he basically dogs himself to the Cyclops right after leaving.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
if you remember that.
Yeah. So I guess he got punished for telling Cyclops the truth at the end. He got punished by deciding not to lie to Cyclops anymore and fessed up and told the truth. So he got punished for that. See, again, I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with the message, but so be it.
Yeah, and
so be it. Poseidon's still daddy. Poseidon's still daddy. So
Yeah, he is. And another thing that I find really cool is that in Remember Them, Odysseus tells the Cyclops, "I am your darkest moment," in one of the
Right.
lyrics. And in Ruthlessness, Poseidon tells Odysseus, "I am your darkest moment."
So I guess that means Silver Lining, the only place he can go from here is up? If this is his darkest moment, then yay! Everything else is better by comparison.
And and also, he just flat out murders all of his crew.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
The monster.
Wait, how many? Wait.
Yeah.
When does a ripple become a tidal wave?
43 left under.
43 left from almost 600.
Yeah. This is one of those situations where I'm like, I don't think the punishment fits the crime. Like, they spared his son from death. Okay, kill off however many, but leave him with 49. Like, I'm like, does the punishment really fit the crime here? I think not, Daddy. I think not, Daddy. I think not.
Yeah, but I heard is that basically what Odysseus did was more of a punishment than letting the Cyclops live. because he left him maimed, and the Greek were kind of ists, so they were very ableists.
Yeah.
So leaving him blind forever was more of a punishment than letting him live.
Yeah. Which for me I think is an insult for the blind community. I
Yeah,
really want to get political here. So basically what they're trying to say is, "Oh, my kid was born blind. It's a it's a mercy to them to just kill them now." Like obviously no doctor's going to do that, and I hope no parent's going to ever think or say that. But
but
essentially,
that was the ancient Greeks, you
right.
know.
That was the ancient Greeks, like it's hey, look, this person can't live a fulfilling life and is just gonna suffer for the end of till the end of his days. Let's just, show them mercy by
Mercy.
killing them off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that that's what it was, how it was at the time. I get it. But, you know, it's as somebody who lives in current times, I can't help but give my hot take and call things out. Even if it's sort of like when you watch um, movies that are racist, like
right.
very racist portrayal. Even in Disney films, there's a lot of Disney films who, if you look at them today, they're actually pretty darn racist right now. Um, so you recognize that was just, a relic of its time, but that doesn't make it right, or that doesn't mean you should be condoning it.
Right.
So, or agreeing in this case, agreeing with the message that's trying to be sent by the gods, I guess, at the time. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I can see Jorge putting like more modern views on the musical because he takes it as Odysseus like um playing politis philosophy by letting the Cyclops live. Because he's
yeah,
like, I don't want more death, I don't want more destruction, just
yeah,
let him live for politis basically. But for a Greek, for an ancient Greek, it would have been a punishment, not a mercy.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think that is really interesting, for a creator like Jorge to determine. Like ultimately, I think when you're creating art like this, um, a lot of art is, what is the artist trying to convey? What is the message they're trying to send? What are they trying to communicate? And so when you're taking something like the Odyssey, and there's historical meanings coming from it that might be outdated. Like does Jorge um how much does he maintain? You know what I'm saying? Like how much of that does he still maintain and not question or not challenge? Just, for the sake of authenticity, right? Of the source material itself, and how much does he sort of give a little bit of a different perspective or different spin on it, and that I do see him sprinkling some of the more modern views of things with the historical authenticity of the Greek mythology, like the Greek mythology and Greek history. So that's what I think is really interesting about all of this. So again, I'm not saying that Jorge thinks we should, murder our blind children. I don't think that's what he's communicating, but um, it makes for good drama in a musical for sure. Very good drama. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that was the end of the Ocean Saga.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you think
Over
about it?
Overall, I love Saga 3 a lot because of how vastly different every single song was. Um I just feel like in the end, like Odysseus doesn't catch a break. And I know he doesn't catch a break because I know that it's so many things in Greek mythology are tragedies. And he tries so hard to do the right thing, and to honor Politus, but his luck runs out,
Yeah,
if you can call it that. I don't feel like it's sometimes I would argue it's not so much that his luck runs out. It's just the gods can be the biggest, like the biggest creators of bad luck. Sometimes I feel like the gods should butt out more. They should just, you know, leave us alone a little bit more. Don't meddle with us as much. But I guess again, this is how they get their kicks and their funsies. This is their entertain. They don't have television, so like they make their own sitcoms and dramas by
With the little humans.
with the little humans. Like yeah, that's just what they do, and we're just under their mercy, unfortunately. But no, as a saga itself, I think my favorite song. Oh gosh, I think it is the luck one.
Luck
Like
runs
when luck
out.
runs out, luck runs out. I think that was my favorite one, just because it is. Um, I appreciate that it's a more mellow, like compared to some of the others. It's a more mellow song, so I do appreciate um, how it resonated with me based on my real life experiences at the office, at work, for example. Um, and it was the song that also triggered me the least, like got me upset and angry the least. So that's probably why. Um, but yeah, super cool saga. I predict it'll be one of my favorites by the end. I don't know if it is my favorite. I think if I was to rank the first three sagas, oh, it's so hard.
They're also
I think I
good.
like. I think Troy is still my favorite. I think the Ocean Saga is my second favorite so far, and the Cyclops Saga is my third. But I still like all three a lot. So that's how I'm ranking them currently.
Nice. So my favorite song of this saga is "Keep Your Friends Close."
Mm,
I just love Aeolus's voice and the spin Gigi gave Aeolus. You know,
yeah,
with the avatar,
yeah. The Last
the
Airbender.
last airbender. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Also, thank you for for having the that capture of
I'm here
it's
to
like its character.
serve.
So
I'm
good.
here to
Yes.
serve.
Thank you. Fan service. Fan service. Fan
Yes,
service.
all the time.
Yes. Um, very neat. Again, I'm very whatever form this musical ends up taking, whether it's an animated film or stage or whatever. I mean, obviously the animatics that people have been doing so far have been breathtaking and just so well executed. Um, but I definitely am curious to see how everything gets put together, if it ever does get put together as a final ish product,
Mm-hmm.
um, from beginning to end. So yeah, great job, awesome job.
Awesome job, artist. You're doing great.
Yes, y'all are doing great. You're doing what you're supposed to in promoting this piece, and hopefully um, translating Jorge's vision for his project. So
One thing I haven't seen done in the animatics is that in this part, Poseidon is supposed to be with the Lastrygonians, who are these cannibal giants that live
mm,
on the land of the giants that I always
yeah.
mentioned in the last song. And in the live stream, it with the lyrics and the descriptions, it says that the Lastrygonians are the ones who haul rocks at the ships and sink them. But in every ruthlessness animatic that I've seen, it's Poseidon who directly kills the the crewmen.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the live stream you can also you can actually see the Lastrygonians sign. You can see them like in the background together with Poseidon, like right in the middle.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, thank you again, Alexander, for being a gracious host and walking me through all of these songs and animatics. And for the rest of you all watching, let us know in the comments below. so far, what's your favorite saga? What are some of your favorite songs from each saga? Um, do you think that I'm taking things too seriously or too personally? It's hard because I don't know. I'm the kind of reactor who, for what it's worth, I just, if things pop into my head, if feelings are feeling within me, I want to let myself feel my feelings. I don't want to let myself speak my mind. Maybe after a while I'll rethink things and reevaluate things and see things from a different perspective. But I think I would be doing a disservice for all of you as a reactor to not be very transparent and open and communicative of what's going through my mind in that moment versus maybe later on. It would be kind of interesting, I think, if we did a follow up maybe after each act, like after act one, just do a follow up and then see if you want. You can ask me if things have changed or if I have different perspectives of different parts. So I don't know. We'll see. Or that could just be part of the the wrap up of the last sagas of each of the acts too. So we'll see. Great. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you again, Alexandra. And until next time, love yourselves.
And love each other.
Bye, Daddy.
Oh
All
man.
right.